So, you still not satisfied with Gundam, which is only a straight build? Greedy. But don't worry, I like those who are hungry for knowledge and always want to try new things. By making custom panel line, you can make your Gunpla more outstanding even without having to be painted. Let's try this technique with us, Alice Kingdom.
Hello, this is me, Mr. Alice. I've been doing Gunpla since 2011 and I will share all about Gunpla with you.
So, I'm going to use the Gundam which have been removed the seam line in the previous video tutorial. The tools you need to prepare: first, of course, the tools to make the new panel line. Actually, you can use several tools. You can use needle pin, scriber, and chisel. Each has its advantage and disadvantage. First, pin needles. The advantage is it's cheap. The downside, the material is not too hard, so it's a bit difficult if you want to make new line. Because the harder the metal character, it's easier for you to make new line. Then the result you get also really depend on the user skill. For this pin needle, you have to modify it first so that it's comfortable to hold. First, you prepare a used pen, not new pen. You are not that rich. If you use a pin, this means you don't have enough money to buy more expensive tools. Just kidding. Prepare the sewing thread, super glue. Cut the bottom part of pin needle. Glue the needle pin to the pen. Then tie this pin needle with sewing thread. Continue to drop super glue until it sticks with the pen, so it becomes more comfortable to use and hold. The second one is scriber. This is in the middle class category, not too expensive and not too hard to find. It's easier to make a new line than the first tool, but the result still depends on the user. The downside of needle pin and scriber is that the deeper the stroke, the wider the line will be. Why? Because the shape of the needle and scriber tip is V. And last one but not least, chisel. This is the most expensive price compared to the previous tool. Many brands out there, so be careful in choosing chisel because it depends on the material. So the harder the character of the chisel, it's easier to make new line, and the chisel will not be dull easily. This chisel have made by Metalworks. Personally, I'm quite satisfied. The price is cheap and durable. Chisel are usually available in variety of size. Now we get into the basic way of using this line maker. This applies to all tools. Okay? First, draw the design. Use marker that easy to erase. I have tips for designing panel lines so they don't look weird. The first line is free according to your imagination. But for the next line, it should form an angle greater than 90 degrees. If it's less than 90 degrees, why? Just try looking for a cool Gundam design with an angle of less than 90 degrees. Little logic here. Prepare something as a ruler, can stick and flexible. I use Daimotive. What do you want to use is up to you. The important thing that it have the same function. We will start from the line on the edge first. Start scribing from the middle to the edge. Because if from the edge to the middle, there will be a possibility to exit the line. When scribing, don't press too much. Gently scribe in one direction. Remember, one direction. Just repeat until it feels deep enough. So the point is when you should stop. It's different if you use a chisel. No matter how deep the scribing, it doesn't really affect the line width as long as it's not penetrate the part. After the first line feels enough, sand the scratch first. Then clean the gap with a brush. I use my wife's makeup brush. Don't tell her. Pay attention to the result whether it's satisfactory. If you don't think so, repeat again. Continue to the next line. We start stroking from the middle to the end of the line we created earlier. Why? So we know where this next line stops. Repeat this step to create another line. Don't forget to sand your part so it becomes smooth again. For sanding tutorial, you can see the link in the description below. For tips number 2, there are many questions how to make the exact same line pattern for other parts. It's easy. Thicken the finished panel line. Prepare masking tape. If there is clear tape, it's better. Stick the tape. Imitate the existing pattern. Then fold the tape. Next is cut the existing pattern. This is what's used as a template. Now you have two parts with the same line pattern. Perfect. Tips number 3. Maybe you have trouble making panel line on a small surface, like at the corner of this part, because Dymo tape will be difficult to stick. It's quite easy. Just press the cutter on the surface. The cut marks will be the guide for making the panel line. Magnificent. Tips number 4. Sometimes bad thing happens and you make a mistake in making the panel line. Don't panic. First, sand the surface of the part. Yes, we need some dust on the error line. Then drop a little plastic cement and wait about 2 hours for it to dry completely. If you plan on painting, just use power glue or super glue because it dries faster. After dry, sand it until smooth. Back to normal without the error marks. Beautiful. If your new custom panel is finished, then it's clear, of course, that the line will be drawn so that the details are more outstanding. Here I'll provide a tutorial on drawing panel line that is more complete than my previous video where I use a pencil. You can see the link in the description below. So in addition to pencil, we can use a marker of 0.05 size. Tamiya Line Action Corner Panel Line or whatever brand, it's up to you. Or you can make your own with enamel paint. To draw with a marker, I prefer to use this 0.05 snowman marker because the tip is smaller than the Gundam marker. You can see the comparison, and certainly the price is cheaper too. Let's just do it.